Mr. President, I want to thank my colleagues for those kind words. I think tenacity is probably an appropriate description. I would like to have had a little more tenaciousness if it would have resulted in a little better, stronger language than what we have. Nonetheless, we have what we have. And I want to congratulate Senator Cardin and Senator Corker for their hard work on the resolution we passed here last week, which went out of here with only one dissenting vote. And it was a difficult process, to say the least. Obviously, it didn't rise to the level that a lot of us wanted to see, where this could have and should have been handled like a treaty. And indeed, it is a treaty. No matter what else you call it, it is a treaty. Nonetheless, we are where we are. We're better off with these things than without. We're going to wait and see how this plays out as the summer unfolds. We have an important June 30th date. And once an agreement is reached, then, of course, we'll be on the floor talking and discussing the appropriateness of the agreement. There's a lot of us been critical of how this started, and for that matter, where we are today. In my judgment, this shouldn't have even started. They shouldn't have sat down at the table until these four people were released and or accounted for. I want to talk about Saeed Abedini. And Pastor Abedini is a constituent of mine from Idaho. He is an ordained Christian minister. He has family in Iran. And at the time that he was arrested, he was in Iran visiting family and in the process of setting up and running an orphanage. He's detained at the present time in Evin Prison, which is considered one of the worst prisons in Iran. He's been held in solitary confinement. He's been physically beaten, denied access to necessary medical treatment as a result of abuse, and denied access to his lawyer until just before the trial. He had a trial. He was convicted and sentenced to 8 years, and his offense was being a Christian and pursuing Christianity in a country that this is not permitted. This is shocking, I think, to most Americans that this can happen in today's age. This is barbarous conduct by a regime that knows no shame, and this man should be released from prison and should be released forthwith. He's done absolutely nothing that is a threat to the Iranian people, in fact, to the Iranian regime, and those are two different things we're talking about here. He has done nothing to be a threat to those people, and he should be released. You know, Iran thinks it elevates its position in the world because it does these kinds of things. It does not. Certainly it shows toughness, but a barbarian type of toughness that the world is not impressed with at all. This is a country that pushes the envelope whenever it can. This country is at the heart of virtually every problem we have in that part of the world. Most importantly, it is one of, if not the most prominent promoters of terrorism in the world. Now, some time ago, this was thought of as a good thing by some of these nations that don't rise to what they should be on the world stage as an important nation. Terrorism was thought of a way that things could be done. In recent years, most every country has had it with terrorism. It is no longer something that people look at and say, well, yes, there's terrorism, but you need to understand the root causes. That's gone. That's absolutely gone. The other countries in this region have had it with terrorism. And everyone in the region now is going to feel that as we go forward. Now, there is hope for Iran. The demographics in that country show that there is a real disconnect between the people of that country and the regime that operates that country. Most notably, as a downside for the present regime, is the demographics show that the vast majority of people that are living in Iran are young people. They have a different view of the world than the regime does. They are not they are a secular people who do not want to be ruled by religious fanatics, which is what they have today. And in any event, the world is watching how this is going to unfold. Now, we have a clear expression, and Senator Cardin made mention of this. We ran this as a separate document, not as part of the resolution that we passed last week. This is a separate document where we are going to have a clear expression of the nature and the view of what the world takes of this, and the view that the United States Senate and the United States Congress takes of the conduct that Iran is engaged in. It is a separate view, and I believe it will be very helpful to the notion that this regime in Iran cannot continue down the road that is going down. The Iran regime purports to represent its people, and what it is doing is not helpful to the Iranian people. And with that, Mr. President, I'll yield the floor. Thank you.